Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content in my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the video.
The key to Akku's destruction lies in the past. I will find my way there. I only begun to fight. Who else wants some?
Samurai Jack.
Now, yes, powered by coffee, we now must talk about Samurai Jack and Akku! Because as we know, Chad, we left off of Samurai Jack in episode 2. By the way, this episode does a great job of recapping all the shit we saw previously on Samurai Jack. We learn that Samurai Jack, he had spent a lifetime learning all various martial arts and combat abilities around the world so he can once again face Akku and free his family and people from his oppression, chat. But when he was about to land the final blow upon Akku, Akku unleashed a portal and it sent him into the distant future where Akku is law. But chat, all is not lost because now Samurai Jack must get back to the past while defending the innocent of those who have been under Akku's oppressive regime, chat. And that's where we find him here right now. He is trying to help these anthropomorphic dog creatures. Dogs, thousands of years in the future, chat, have learned to speak language, English. And they're very articulate. And Jack is like, I just can't believe this. I don't believe it, but I'll help you. I will help you with what's going on. So he goes with these dogs, chat, this pack, if you will. And they beg him because Akku has sent his army of Beetleborgs, the Beetleborgs, chat, the Power Ranger spinoff. The Beetleborgs are here. He has sent them, but they've been cursed. They've been turned evil by Akku, and they're going to attack the dogs and destroy them, chat. Commit genocide upon the English dog speaking species. Jack's like, I will not tolerate that. I will help you in this battle, but we must prepare. And I'll tell you what, chat. Now, Samurai Jack, there are many episodes where there is hardly any dialogue, and this is one of them. You have some speaking in the beginning of the episode. Like, honestly, I think that the opening credit sequence has more speaking than the rest of the episode. Like, the first 3-4 minutes has speaking lines, and then the next 13 or 14 minutes is all action. It's all action, and it's beautiful. I mean, as we all know, Samurai Jack is wonderfully choreographed. Man, what the hell? Automod, take it easy. I don't know. I'm gonna go in there chat and disable Automod. Automod is being ridiculous. My apologies for Automod's behavior. Not the regular mods. You're doing a good job. It's Automod. Automod's just being very aggressive. Sorry about that. Where was it? Oh yeah. So, but yeah, that's the thing, chat. Like, a lot of Samurai Jack episodes there's a lot of quiet. I mean, not quiet, but there's not a lot of dialogue in some episodes, and this is one of them. And it actually relies on silence, as I said before in my previous review for episode 2. Silence is actually used to great comedic effect throughout Samurai Jack, because it's the reactions of the characters or just letting it sit there, and it's like, you know what, this is actually pretty goddamn funny. Because Samurai Jack's like, okay, we're going to draw up some battle plans to prepare, because, you know, apparently Akku's Battleborgs, and we won't be here until sunrise. And so we have time to prepare our defenses. And then let's draw up a battle plan. And so he gets his big sheet of paper on here. He's like, I need a writing tool. And the dog presents him with a pen. And Jack takes that pen and he just begins, like, trying to write with it. But it's like, he doesn't know how a pen works. And the dogs are just kind of, like, looking at him like, he doesn't know it's a pen, does he? He's like, what is this? What is this? Witchcraft! And they're like, Jack, it's here. And they take it, they go, boop, and they bring it back to him, and Jack, like, takes it, and he's, like, right in front. He's like, it's great how they do the choreography of this, because he slowly lifts it up with the pen, he looks at it, and he goes, and then he gets really serious. Gets really serious, and he starts fucking scrolling, chat. He starts drawing up all these battle plans of what the natural topography, the geography of the land that they have, and he says, the geography itself is a weapon that could be used against the Battleborgs. And basically he uses, because these dogs, they're trying to unearth their origins, and they have these giant robotic diggers, and they send out Drax no, like these won't be used in the fight, but the contraptions, their arms will be. And he says we must flip these over. So they flip them over and they start loading them up with giant stones. And so when they cock all the levers back, and if they go forward, it'll launch these giant rocks upon the Battleborgs. And Drax's like, that's how we'll do it. And then he also says to start making these stacks of arrows made from this very sharp and robust red mineral, and I'll be able to use my arrows on the Battleborgs, and they'll pierce their hides easily. And they do like different caches of arrows all around. They manipulate these pillars, chat. They saw down the pillars at their stems, and so these very like obelisk pillars. And so if you push them over, they'll also crush the Battleborgs, chat. And so they do all these various things to like basically make the geography just extremely dangerous for the incoming enemy. And they're unaware, chat. They just think they're gonna kill some puppers. They don't realize that these dogs set up all these sorts of traps. And then, chat, we have Jack himself. He's like, yes, he has his magic sword, but he must also, chat, have a suit of armor to defend his corporeal form. And these dogs, they use anything they could possibly get, scrap, metal, fucking cooking pans and shit, and they build this kind of makeshift samurai armor for him, and with everything, and they're like, but he needs a helmet, and they steal a fucking pot from a dog who's just trying to eat, like, you don't need this, and they put it on Jack's head. He's wearing a little pot, but it's not complete. And they go over and they find like a little, he needs a symbol for himself. And they find, chat, a little fucking bulldog, like a little statue of a bulldog, a little metal bulldog. And they put that on his head. But even before that, Jack, I must have a symbol to ride out in the battle with. And he does the symbol of his home, chat, of his father's family, of his lordship that he originally came from, that was taken from him by Aku. He does that, but the dogs walk over it, but it's okay because it is both Jack and the dogs. This is their battle. It's like, yay. And chat, that's the other thing too. The dogs were enslaving this brontosaurus beast. And Jack, he's like, we cannot enslave the creatures of the land. And he presents the brontosaurus beast of an apple. And the brontosaurus beast is like, I love you, thank you. And he will be Jack's trusty steed in the battles to come. And they also put all sorts of metal on the battle beast, chat. And eventually, everyone's ready. All the contraptions are good. And Jack, he runs out into battle to see where the Battleborgs are coming. And they're like, we got a fucking samurai. We can take him out. And he fucking rides out there, chat, and fucking Battle Beast just starts stomping, starts destroying this huge army of Battle Beasts. While Samurai Jack, he's using his magic sword to take them all out, chat. The blade is so sharp, it's cutting this onyx hardened metallic surface like fucking hot butter. That's what it's cutting it like, chat. And they're like, oh my god. And eventually, he's overwhelmed. The Battle Beast is overwhelmed. He doesn't die. Can't kill the Battle Beast. This is a PG-rated show, chat. No Battle Beast killing. And so eventually the Battle Beast is overrun, and it runs off back to the puppers, the dogs. And Jack, he's just cutting all the shit out of these Battleborgs. Eventually, he goes over to the weapon caches, chat, with the arrows. He starts fucking one after another, just piercing their hides, one after another, chat. He never fucking misses. And after he's done with that, he released the catapults and all the rocks and shit and the boulders. They'll fall on the Battleborg, chat. They're all exploding everywhere. And then he uses the pillars to crash upon the Battleborg, chat. And they got other weapons too that they use. They make a lot of fucking like Ewok weapons. They got like fucking giant logs smashing them and shit. Any movie you saw, they're making use of. They build pits. They pits filled with muck and the sharp kind of like I don't know what it is, but it's the red rock before, and then the Battleborgs accidentally throw themselves on. They're like, they can't get up and shit. But eventually, Jack, he's dead. That's it. Now it's just him. And then we get. It is a fucking beautiful scene, chat, of him just, because now he's getting all cut up. These things are on top of him. He's getting shredded. His kimono is shredded and shit. And now we're just seeing his bare fucking chest, chat. His hair is unraveled. He just no longer has the little hair bun, chat, the hair top. I forget what it's called. It's called the hair top. I forget what it's called. But And then he just fucking, and then everything, you get that. I love it. Because like the opening of Samurai Jack, it cuts, and it's that red line across his face and his eyes. That's what happened here. And that's what happens here. And he just fucking loses it. And he starts slicing these things in half, down the middle, chat, sideways, long ways, any way you can imagine. And eventually, he is just fucking caked. And it really is supposed to be blood, chat. They're doing it in slow motion, like he cuts one in half, and all its innards are revealed, and it fucking explodes, and it just cakes him. He's lathered in oil and grease, and it's supposed to be blood. Like, I knew what you're doing, Jendy Tartakovsky. Again, it's awesome. This is amazing. And I'm like, I was watching this on HBO Max. I think these episodes they all convert them to HD. So if you want to watch Samurai Jack, HBO Max is the way to go, because these episodes are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And he's cutting these things in half. And eventually there's maybe there's like about 2 dozen left. And he's caked in all their innards in blood. And he's just looking at them. And the Battleborgs, like the first time the Battleborgs have ever showed any doubt or emotion. And the one that's closest to him takes one step back. And he's like, and I love it. This is the first piece of dialogue we've gotten since the beginning of the episode. And he's like, no, there's no going back. There's no running. You're not escaping. And he just fucking goes in on them and just cut after cut after cut, eviscerates them, chat, until that last one who took that step back tries to get away. He's like, slices chat parts, and we just see the murder in Jack. So that's the thing about Jack. Like, I know he's fucking lost it in season 5. He went crazy and shit, but he almost lost it here, okay? He got that blood battle craze or whatever. I don't know what it's called, chat. He was losing his goddamn mind. And eventually, the last of the Battleborgs falls, Chad. The Beetleborgs fall. And he's like, ah! He's screaming and shit. It's just like, everything's blood red. He's like, ah! And then eventually the dog's like, oh, thank you so much, Jack. And he just looks at the dog like, don't talk to me. And he's like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. And just starts, Dale eventually calms down. He got that murder rage, chat. He's got that bloodlust. He calms down. And the dog's like, whoa, well, Jack, thank you. You've saved our pack. We would happily have you come with us if you want to. And Jack's like, I can't do that. I need to find a way to get back home, and I need to free these people and these lands from Aku. You're probably only one group who was suffered at the hands of Aku. And the dog's like, you know what? You're right, man. You're totally right. You gotta do what you gotta do, but we'll never forget you. And they never do, chat, because they come back in like the season finale. And I'm not even the biggest fan of it, but I did like when certain characters came back to help Jack, and the dogs returned with their children and their grandchildren to help him in his final battle, which I always like that, Jack. Bloodlust. That's Bloodlust. Thanks, sir, baby. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Murderlust, Bloodlust. I try to find it. And so he's walking off, chat, and we come back to Aku, and Aku's like, fuck! Jesus Christ. All right, the samurai is more powerful than I remember, but it means nothing to me. This samurai Jack. I will kill you, samurai. And Jack walks out, and then we get that cut to his face, and like, wata, Samurai Jack, and then get the theme song playing. And I think this was all released in one. It was like a 3-part episode, almost like a mini movie. I think I remember seeing that. Like, it was back to back to back, chat. But it's a great way to end it. Great way to establish the show. An amazing, simply amazing action sequence, chat, that lasts about 12, 13 minutes. It's beautiful. Very little dialogue except for the bloodlust screaming. No. There's no escaping. It's like, wow. Like, again, it's like they managed to find a way to get past the censors by having him cutting people's arms off and shit and making them robots and being caked in their oil and grease. But it's like, that's obviously blood. You got to give it to Jenny Tartakovsky and the writers and creators and the animators of the show. It was way ahead of its time, chat. And overall, it's a great series. I'm going to keep reviewing it, obviously. I got like 20 plus more episodes you guys voted for. But it really is admirable what they were able to do. And yeah, the last episode is not great of the final season. I have a lot of issues with it, but still, it's overall, it's an incredible animated series. But yeah, I'm very excited to review the rest of this, chat, as we get into more of the weird shit that the series delves into. Deadpool, welcome to stream. Yeah, the first 3 were released on Toonami. It's a movie. That's right. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I remember. Jesus Christ. I remember when this aired, chat. This series is 19 years old. I remember when this, I think it was like, 11 or 12? I might have been. I remember when this actually fucking aired, and I watched that mini movie. Incredible. So highly recommend it, chat. Great way to watch this is on HBO Max if you don't have it. I think all the episodes are in HD.